Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't remember the last time I filmed a sit down video. It might have been 2 years ago, but we're doing it today. If you're new around here, I'm Nitsan. If you are not new around here, welcome back. But we are back today with a hair extensions Q&A, as you can see from the title. So I recently got tape and hair extensions for my trip to Greece and Israel, and then I got them put in again and reinstalled about a week or so ago. And when I shared the process, you guys had a lot of questions. This was my first time getting them done, so I definitely didn't know a lot about them. So I wanted to do a little Q&A, answer your questions, tell you a little bit about my hair, my experience, how I've been liking them, the pros and cons, and yeah, just talk all about hair. So let's get started. Lord knows I can talk for a long time. Okay, so I have all my notes on my phone right here, and I'm just gonna get started with telling you a little bit about my hair and kind of how I got into hair extensions. So my hair is naturally pretty thin. Hairstylists have told me in the past that I have a lot of hair, but it's very fine and very thin. I definitely have dyed my hair in the past. I've been doing the ombre balayage thing for the last 6 or so years, so I get it done once or twice a year. Obviously, it's all great for your hair, and every time I get my hair done, I tell myself,
this time I'll use less heat on my hair, I'll be better so it can grow.
And it's just a vicious cycle because I definitely do heat style my hair a lot for shooting, for photos, and also because my hair is thin, I feel like I need to style it more so that it looks good. Otherwise, it kind of just falls flat. I've also been using clip-in hair extensions for a while, so I actually used them in grade 12, like 7 years ago for prom. Loved them. I got them from Luxy Hair and they were amazing, and I kind of forgot about them and then started using them on and off. I brought them back for Coachella, which was really fun, so I had this like long hair to play with all my looks, and I really loved them. And I never thought about getting a more permanent type of hair extension. I definitely loved my hair long, and back in February I actually cut it up to like here, which was super short for me. I didn't intend on it, but I guess my hair was pretty dead, and when I got it done it ended up being like super short. So I was getting ready to go on my trip to Greece and Israel, and it was summertime, and I thought, you know what, let me look into permanent type of hair extensions. So here the story begins. So fast forward, I did my research, found a hair salon in Toronto. It's called Loves in the Hair. They specialize in hair extensions and just hair extensions, like all types and all colors. I don't know where I'm going with this, you know what I mean. They just do just hair extensions, and they were amazing. I reached out and I had my appointment scheduled, and I got tape and hair extensions. So tape and hair extensions, from what I understood and what I read, are basically the best for thin hair because they kind of just lay flat on your head, and they're basically little wefts of hair with tape on the back, medical grade tape, and they kind of sandwich a strand of your hair between two wefts of tape and hair extensions on top and underneath. They pretty much stay in for 4 to 6 weeks, and they do it all over your head. You can do a half head, you can do a full head. So the extensions that I got done for my trip to Greece and Israel were 16 to 18 inch weft, and I actually had them cut the extensions a little bit so they looked a little bit more natural. And Loves in the Hair is amazing because they actually color match my hair with the extensions. So I was worried that I was going to have to dye my hair again so the extensions match, but they are so amazing with color matching. This is my second time obviously, but I still can't tell what my hair is, what the extensions are. Like, I just don't know. Obviously it looks better, so I know I have them. I had those extensions for my whole trip to Israel and Greece, which was about 3 weeks, and I actually kept them in for my other trip to Cancun. So overall I had them for about 5 weeks, I believe, until I got them out and got them reinstalled. So technically you can keep your tape and hair extensions and use them, depending obviously on the brand and the type of hair and how you treat it, for about like 4 to 6 times. So you can actually reuse the hair extensions as well. They slowly just kind of slide down your hair, and obviously as your hair grows, they tape them in super tight at the start, and then obviously they kind of go down so they become more visible within those 5 to 6 weeks, which is when you take them out and can reinstall them. So typically tape-in extensions too, you can reuse them. So I read that they're amazing for like brides and events, because you can like put them on, take them off, and they're just a little bit better than clip-in extensions, obviously, because you don't have to worry about clipping your hair all the time. They kind of just are there permanently until you take them out. I actually switched to Bellamy hair extensions for my second time. So I was told that they're like the Ferrari of hair extensions, and so far I've been loving them. So I do have a new set in, but I expect myself to use it obviously again multiple times before you have to purchase a new set of hair extensions. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. So onto my experience with my hair extensions. I guess a really big misconception is that hair extensions make your life easier. I definitely went in thinking, oh, I'm gonna have like gorgeous hair all the time, I won't have to do it, it'll be so easy. Truth is, with tape and hair extensions, you do have to blow dry your hair, or it's recommended to, after you wash your hair, because the water and obviously like sweat and heat like that will break down the adhesive medical grade tape. So you do have to blow dry your hair so it stays dry and like doesn't get like sticky and like yucky. But aside from that, obviously it takes a little bit longer to dry your hair because you have a whole mane attached to your head, but I do still love it. I find that my hairstyle lasts longer. I don't have to heat style my hair as much because these are also second or third day curls. Obviously my hair is falling a little flat right now. I didn't do much to it before the video, but overall I don't have to heat style my hair as much, which is a plus, and you just put a ton of dry shampoo up in your hair even after a workout and stuff like that, because washing your hair becomes a mission, which in a way is good because I've been washing my hair less, as gross as it sounds, but I know that that's better for your hair and like the natural oils and all that. So overall I do really like it, and my mission is to heat style my hair less and kind of let it grow. But yeah, I guess my experience was amazing. In terms of like it hurting, it was a little bit tight after you reinstall them on like the second, third, fourth-ish day. It kind of gets a little tight because they obviously put the hair extensions close to your scalp so that you won't see it, and so that when it grows out it's not just like hanging in the middle of your hair. So it is a little tight at the start, but nothing that you can't manage, and totally worth it, let me just tell you that. So in terms of like the price point of what I got done, I guess I can only speak to my hair salon in Toronto that I went to, Loves in the Hair, and I did get 100 grams of the Bellamy hair extensions and the appointment. So in terms of styling the hair at the end plus application plus the hair was $840. So it is a little bit pricey. I guess it's definitely worth it if you have like a wedding or a big party, prom, and just are looking to try out tape and hair extensions. But there are definitely cheaper alternatives as well, like clip-in hair extensions. I can definitely recommend Luxie Hair. They get their colors right pretty spot on, and you just clip them on and off. They're definitely less pricey. I think they're like $120 to like $200 depending of how much hair you want. It's definitely a confidence thing. When I got them out for the week where I got my old extensions out and was waiting for these new Bellamy ones to come in, I felt like a naked rat. You feel like you lose a lot of hair because you just get used to having all this hair on your head, and when you touch your hair it feels so thick and suddenly you feel like you have no hair. But I did get used to it after a few washes, and then I obviously got my second set in again. So I'm sure it'll take time to get used to not having them in. I don't plan on having them in forever, but it's been fun for the summer. I'll definitely get 1 or 2 more uses out of these extensions, so I'll keep you guys posted. But let me jump straight into your questions because this is going to be a pretty long video. So the first question is, does your head feel significantly heavier? I wouldn't say my head feels heavier. I definitely feel like I have a lot more hair, and I guess when I put my hair in a ponytail, which we'll get to as well, it does feel heavier because I have all this extra weight, but it's not like I feel like my hair is weighing down my hair. The way tape and extensions work, those are the only ones I can really speak to, is that they take a section of your hair and they basically tape in a weft on top and at the bottom. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 kind of deal. Your hair really holds double the hair, so it's not like a 1-to-1 ratio. It's kind of like a 1-to-2, I think. This is where math comes in. But yeah, overall my head doesn't feel heavier. It obviously depends on how much hair you have installed. I have 100 grams like I mentioned, and it doesn't feel like my head is heavy. So I guess no. So the second question is, do they ever show when your hair is in a ponytail? So when you first get your hair extensions in, your hair and the extensions themselves are obviously a lot tighter. They're right at the root. It's kind of hard to put your hair up in a tight ponytail, even though you can. I personally didn't and wouldn't recommend it. But after a few days, your hair kind of starts to give. The extensions aren't as like tough. And what I do is I flip my hair upside down, kind of gather up all my hair at the top of my head, and then flip it back up, and then I just make sure that I flip the extensions kind of over. So just to show you what they look like, so you get a you get a better sense of what I'm talking about. So this right here is it. So again, these are color matched. They actually took a brown section of hair and also blonde at the bottom, and they kind of tape my hair in between. So at the top, because my roots are darker and I love them for doing this, they put the brown hair on top and the blonde underneath, so that when the wind blows and like when I'm touching my hair, it's not like I have a white line kind of, or like a blonde streak showing. When you want to do a lower ponytail, when you pull it back like this, some extensions will show, but I guess you just have to play around with it. I know some places can put the hair on an angle. I don't really know too much about that. I know they didn't do that for me, but they said I should be fine, and I was, so I haven't struggled with that too much. Another question is, how do you shower with them? So I was wondering this when I didn't have them in and when I didn't know and didn't experience them before, but you wash your hair naturally, just as you normally would, and you just obviously are a little bit more careful because it is taped to your hair, but you can kind of like massage your hair. You can brush your hair. I use a Tangle teaser, which I love. I know a lot of people like the wet brushes too. Personally, the Tangle Teaser is super gentle. I've been brushing my hair with a Tangle Teaser for years, and it doesn't like get stuck on the extensions. It kind of just glides over. I do start at the bottom, so I'll start brushing my hair at the bottom and work my way up, so I'm not like pulling anything. Obviously, that's less damaging to your own natural hair too. So you shower normally with them, you can swim with them, you can go in the water, you can do anything. Yeah, honestly, it's a great invention. Are they comfortable? Do they interfere with the daily life at all? They're definitely comfortable. The only time where I feel like it bothers me slightly is when I'm working out, because it's just a lot more hair on my head that I have to balance as I'm like squatting or jumping and all of that. But I just use a scrunchie. I think generally a scrunchie is less damaging to hair, period. But it is kind of like less tight, and it's not pulling on my hair. It's kind of just keeping it in place. So I only use scrunchies on my hair, also because I have a lot more hair. So they don't really interfere with your daily life. I guess when they start growing out, it's a little bit annoying because you just feel these little like sections of hair all up in your hair, and they do start to show the more they grow out. So that's when you kind of reinstall them or take them out. So that's really the only time where they bothered me. Otherwise, I don't feel them at all. If my hair gets greasy, they obviously will start to show a little bit more. So I try to not wash my hair too often, but I also have to wash it every like 3 to 4-ish days so that you won't really see the extensions. But otherwise, no. Do they bother your head? Does your head get itchy? No. I actually always remember like thinking about permanent hair extensions and having girls like tap their head because it's so itchy. That's just like a stereotype, I don't know. But I guess for tape-in extensions, no. I see why if they're like the sewed in wefts or like the eye bonds or whatever. I honestly follow Loves on the Hair Instagram religiously and have learned so much about hair extensions from that, so I know all the different types of names. For tape-in hair extensions, no, they don't really get itchy. If they do, I kind of like will just like scratch my hair gently, but like underneath. Nothing crazy, not more than your own natural hair would itch. Do you find that the extensions damage your hair or stunted your natural hair growth? I don't think so, but like I said, when I got my hair extensions out, I definitely felt like my hair was a lot thinner and more fragile than I remember. But I was told that after a few washes of your hair, you kind of look back and see that that's really what your hair looked like. And I looked at old photos too, because I did freak out, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I had no hair. But I guess that's what my hair looked like. And in terms of like losing hair, I guess with tape-in hair extensions, your hair is stuck there for 4 to 6 weeks, so your hair does shed naturally. And when they take it out and kind of brush it through, you will lose hair, but that's also hair that has been kind of like stuck in the extensions for so long. So I was told, so I don't think so. In terms of like stopping my natural hair growth, I haven't had them in for too long to know. This is only my second reinstall of the tape-in hair extensions and my first time period getting them. I don't think you should get them in forever and like keep putting them in. I'm sure that's not good for your hair, so I don't plan on doing that. But for here and there, for having them on, I don't think that, yeah, the answer is no. How do you style them without heat? I usually let mine air dry and they look yucky after the shower. So for me, again, you're recommended to blow dry your hair after you wash your hair so it doesn't like stay wet. I do let my hair air dry, otherwise I find myself holding the blow dry there for years until my extensions are dry. So once they're a little bit dry, I'll go in and kind of finish it off, or I'll just put the heat specifically on the roots where the tape is. But I find that whether my hair is a little bit damp or even dry, if I braid it and go to bed at night with my hair in a braid, in the morning when I take it out, I do have some natural waves to the extension, which I do like, so I can add a little, you know, a few curls on top of that with heat styling, or not at all and just add some dry shampoo or texture spray. So definitely try that. But like I mentioned, I do find that my hair extensions hold my styling for longer than my natural hair would. My hair just like falls usually. And with hair extensions, it holds my heat styling for 2 to 3-ish days, obviously with a little bit of hairspray and all of that. So I definitely am heat styling my hair less, which is a plus. So yeah. So I guess those are actually all the questions. I kind of weaved in the other ones into everything that I spoke about earlier. But yeah, overall, these are my extensions. Let me show you my natural hair. So I do have 16-inch wefts right now. This is my natural hair and this is the extension. So not too long, but I didn't want it to look too long and fake. But yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below, or even DM them to me on Instagram. I'm here to help. I would love to hear your tips and tricks. If you do have tape-in extensions, your experience, and if you get them done, send me a picture. I'd love to see. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next video. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later.